Whitesnake return, Diamond Head no more, and Kreator are preparing a double surprise for their fans. Metal is life and well, so let's see what keeps it going today. Here you go.
We are Kreator!
Whitesnake are back. Whitesnake's music is officially back on stage. And no, not thanks to some tribute act, but thanks to Tommy Aldridge, Joel Hoekstra, Marco Mendoza and Michelle Lupi uniting forces with Croatian singer Dino Jelusic for a special performance at the Guitar Festival in Zaječar, Serbia this August under the banner of Whitesnake Experience by the members of Whitesnake.
You gotta get me out!
And according to the guys, this is not just some money grab, but a way to pay tribute to the legendary band. And you know what? It actually doesn't bother me at all. Quite the opposite. I think this is simply great news. As first of all, they are not doing it under the name of Whitesnake, which at least to me automatically adds legitimacy to it. And secondly, well, this reunion became possible thanks to the blessing of nobody else but David Coverdale himself. And if David approves this, who are we to say no to it? And I actually think that it would be really cool if the guys would make it somewhat of a permanent project, although they actually do promise that this will be just a one-off, very, very special show this August. Here guys, super quick as always, just simply have to point out that only around 30% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to this channel. So if you're not one of those, and especially if this is not the first video you're watching on the Metal Pilgrim Show, I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing right now. Let's continue building this amazing heavy metal community together. The end of Diamond Head. The legendary Brian Tatler is loving his life in Saxon so much that he isn't really itching to go back to Diamond Head. In a new interview, the guitarist said that as of right now, he's solely focused on Saxon's rather busy schedule and on working on their new album, which leaves little to no room for his legendary new wave of British heavy metal outfit. I'm not craving to do Diamond Head again. I feel like I've been doing Diamond Head since I was 16, so it's been a long road, said Brian Tatler, adding that he is quite happy at where he is at right now. And this, in all honesty, is a rather bittersweet news, because on one hand, I actually am very happy for Brian, and I totally understand him, as he had given Diamond Head 40 years of his life, with possibly not that much that he had received in return. In addition to that, I believe that Brian Tatler is simply a great fit for Saxon, and he's added quite a lot of dynamic into the band. But at the same time, well, Diamond Head, in my opinion, is one of the most legendary and one of the most influential bands out there, that in the early days was so ahead of its time that it was simply misunderstood by most metalheads. But at the same time, for those few who did understand them, including such, little names as Lars Ulrich or Dave Mustaine, it has become a true inspiration to start the bands of their own and create an absolutely new chapter of heavy metal. But nevertheless, it does look like the legendary Diamond Head is on a permanent hold as of right now, and the only future for Brian Tatler that he sees for himself is in Saxon. So all we can do at this moment is just wish Brian Tatler the best and hope that he will continue blessing us with his incredible and mind-blowing riffs with his new band even more in the coming years.
Gotta be safe, gotta be true, you set me alive.
And here I just want to thank all my patrons and all the YouTube channel members and everyone who purchases Metal Pilgrim merch to rock out at the shows this summer, as it is thanks to your support that I can create these videos. So if any of you guys would like to join this community and support the development of this show, just know that I'll be extremely thankful for it. And by the way, right now there is a very special interview with Angel Ripper about the new Sodom album and about many other things, which is already available for all the patrons and all of this YouTube channel members. So definitely check it out right after watching this Metal Digest. Paradise Lost, finally! Okay, now it's finally official. Gothic Doom Titans Paradise Lost are back with our brand new album. This week, the band announced that their new record, Ascension, is set to drop on September 19th this year via Nuclear Blast Records. And yes, to kick off the celebrations, the band has already released their first single off of it, titled Silence Like a Grave.
Controlling weakness is growing bleakness tissue.
It's worth pointing out that this brooding, melancholic hymn touches on the pointlessness of war, with vocalist Nick Holmes delivering one of the most haunting performances in years, which is so relevant today, in 2025. And overall, and I know that the first single is probably not an indicator of what the new album is going to sound like, but at least from it we can hear that it might be a slight deviation from what we heard on the band's latest studio output, Obsidian, which was released several years ago. As this new release takes you back to the Gothic Doom era of Paradise Lost, the band propagated around 30 years ago. And which, at least to me, is simply incredible news, because I have to be honest with you, Paradise Lost holds a very special place in my metal heart, as it was one of those bands which got me into metal in the first place after discovering it on a cassette tape I obtained from my uncle. And overall, I actually believe that Paradise Lost was one of the most influential and important bands of the 1990s in Great Britain. So yes, I am extremely excited for this new record by the legends of melancholic metal. Problems in Cattle Decapit kick off on June 4th at Sweden Rock and run through June 25th at Rock Imperium in Spain. And they did it just days before it was supposed. In a statement posted online, the band cited circumstances beyond their control. A lot of this band's fans worry, as this news is a follow-up to a recent lineup change, as longtime bassist Ollie Pinnard departed and was replaced by Diego Soria of Broken Hope and Disgorge. So at this point, all we can do is simply hope that this band will find solid ground soon and will come back on stage stronger than ever. Time has come for us to talk about 5 latest metal releases from this week, which, although did not get their own segments in this video, are definitely worthy of your attention. Dragonforce has unveiled a new version of Burning Heart. This track on their 2024 album Warp Speed Warriors, this rendition showcases White-Gluz's dynamic vocals, adding a fresh dimension to the high-speed power metal anthem. And yes, the collaboration is accompanied by an official music video. Finnish metal band Amorphis releases Light and Shadow, the lead single from their forthcoming 15th studio album Borderland, set for release on September 26 via Rain in Phoenix Music. This track, penned by keyboardist Santeri Kallio, blends the band's signature melodic death metal with progressive elements, offering a glimpse into the thematic and sonic direction of the upcoming album. And yes, this first single just once again proved that this new record will be one of the most anticipated ones in the world of metal in 2025. Swedish band Katatonia presents their 13th studio album Nightmares as extensions of the Wakened State, released via Napalm Records. The album continues the band's exploration of melancholic soundscapes, combining elements of progressive rock and metal. Tracks like Lyric and Temporal exemplify their atmospheric approach, while the song In the Event Of incorporates even trance-influenced synths, showcasing their evolving musical palette. Baltimore-based band Turnstile releases their 4th studio album Never Enough via Roadrunner Records. And yes, this album marks yet another stylistic evolution, blending hardcore punk roots with elements of electronic, pop, and jazz. Featuring collaborations with artists like Hayley Williams, Def Hines, and Shabaka Hutchins, the album is accompanied by a 50-minute visual film, Turnstile Never Enough, premiering at the Tribeca Film Festival. German thrash metal veteran Sodom released Taphophobia, a single from their forthcoming album The Arsonist, due out on June 27th via SPV Steam Hammer. The track delves into the fear of being buried alive, with contributions from drummer Tony Merkel, who also played guitar on the song. And yes, an official lyric video accompanies this release, But the coolest thing is that last week I actually had the pleasure of welcoming Angel Ripper to talk about the new Sodom album, and this interview is already out for all of the YouTube channel members and all of the patrons, so if you're one of those, definitely check it out before the official release on this channel.
Death is all beyond the faces of defeat, concealed into the darkness in a deep.
And by the way guys, our Metal 365 playlist, which consists of only the newest metal tracks from all over the world, has gotten a huge update this week. So if it's been a long time since you listened to it last, or if you still haven't added it to your Spotify or YouTube music library, then you should definitely do it right after watching this video. And also don't forget that if you have any suggestions for our playlist, please don't hesitate to send them over at press@metalpilgrim.net. Kreator's double punch.
It isn't just all the same noise. It's different noise.
Seriously, what is going on? Every Metal Digest I talk about new metal documentaries which are coming out this year. And this week I literally just released an episode dedicated to the most anticipated metal films which will be out in 2025. When this week, even more news pouring in, as Kreator are gearing up to deliver not one, but two special surprises for their fans this summer. First of all, the long-awaited official documentary Kreator, Hate and Hope will premiere on July 2nd at the 42nd Munich International Film Festival, followed by a theatrical release on September 4th. Directed by Cordula Koblitz-Post, the film takes us on a year-long ride with the band, from Wacken to Tokyo, Bangalore, and all the way to Clash of the Rockport in Gelsenkirchen. And of course, this documentary will feature never-before-seen archival footage from the early days of Kreator, as well as the commentary by such Kreator fans as, well, you know, Scott Ian, Chuck Billy, Nergal, and many others. But that's not even all, as in addition to that, the band's frontman Mili Petrosa is also releasing his autobiography Your Heaven, My Hell, which will be out this August 28th, co-written with journalist Thorsten Gross. The book explores Kreator's early years up to 1992 and delves into the chaotic rise of the band, the tape trading underground, and Mili's own personal battles. And although Petrosa actually admits that he likes to control pretty much everything, and those who are familiar with Kreator actually can prove that, this time around he fully entrusted the final product to the people who actually worked on it, which I think is pretty awesome. And so yes, it looks like the history of one of the most influential thrash metal bands in history of metal, Kreator, will hit not only the screens, but also the pages as well.
We are Kreator! Fuck me!
Kiss! Seriously? I don't even know what to call it. No, seriously, I literally was just about to record the previous segment when Kiss announced this. According to Deadline and Blabbermouth, Nick Jonas, yes, that Nick Jonas, has been tapped to play Paul Stanley in the upcoming official Kiss biopic, Shout It Out Loud.
Let's rock and roll!
Directed by Mark G, who worked on Charlie's Angels and Terminator Salvation, this film is set to go into production early in 2026. And according to the article, this biopic, which was previously attached to Netflix, will cover the early years of Kiss, from their gritty beginnings through to their legendary 1975 high school gym show in Cadillac, Michigan. And a longtime Kiss manager, Doc McGee, described it as a very interesting look at the formation of Kiss and the cultural chaos which gave birth to this band.
Okay, let's take a call. You're on Kiss Forum.
Kiss rules! Whoa!
Okay, good call, good call.
So yeah, it looks like yet another rock movie is coming to cinemas very soon. And it looks like there will be many and many more of those. And in coming years, Netflix and similar streaming services will simply bombard us with more and more movies about our favorite musicians, which in my opinion is pretty cool, as I always believe that it is such representation of rock and metal in the mainstream pop culture which will attract more new listeners to our favorite genre. And to answer a question which some of you may ask, yes, Nick Jonas will sing all of the parts of Paul Stanley in this biopic himself.
the whole time? Is that it?
Angry Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden manager Rod Smallwood isn't holding back anymore. In a fiery post after the first shows of the Run for Your Lives tour, he praised most of the fans for keeping their phones down and soaking in the moment, but gave a clear message to the ones who couldn't resist filming the whole show, saying, "I wish you nothing but a sore arm."
You failed.
What?
Boy, I'ma slap you in the animation.
Ow.
Overall, I think it's pretty cool that Iron Maiden are trying to make their fans and not leave their phones behind, no, but at least soak in the moment and try to enjoy the shows the way they're supposed to be enjoyed. But in honesty, I'm mostly hopeful that they are doing so not only for the fans, but also to keep this show a secret from the rest of the fan community around the globe. And they are doing so because they are filming every concert on this tour, and they are going to release it as a special live video album. But anyways, what new music did you listen to this week? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Thank you so much for all the support you're showing to me, this show in Ukraine through this very difficult time. And please don't forget to like it, comment under it, spread the word about the channel, and of course join our communities on Instagram, Facebook, X, Threads, Discord, and pretty much anywhere else you can post content these days. Thank you guys so much, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!